Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're doing something a little bit different, kind of mixing it up. We've taken our source material, a comprehensive guide to the Shakespearean age, and basically transformed it into a high-energy 10-question exam challenge. We really want to test your knowledge of the English Renaissance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll be stepping into the professor's shoes today to break down all the answers for us. So, here's how it's going to work. Host 1 is going to read the question and the 4 options exactly as they're written in our quiz. You, tuning in, need to lock in your answer before I come in, reveal the correct one, and explain exactly why it hits the mark. All right, let's just dive right into the whole shebang. Are you ready?
Let's kick things off with round 1, eras, epics, and early poetry. All right, time for the first question. Okay, question 1. The age of Shakespeare, at least as defined in our source, spans which specific years? Is it A, 1558 to 1603, B, 1558 to 1625, C, 1564 to 1616, or D, 1579 to 1625? Go ahead and lock in that guess.
All right, time's up. The correct answer here is actually B, 1558 to 1625. See, the period we broadly call the Shakespearean age, well, it isn't just about Shakespeare's literal birth and death dates. As a distinct historical era, it extends all the way from the accession of Queen Elizabeth in 1558 right up to the death of King James I in 1625.
Off to a solid start. Let's move right along to question 2. Which work is described as the, quote, finest single poem written in England between Chaucer and Spenser? Your options are A, the Steel Glass, B, the Shepherdess Calendar, C, the Induction to a Mirror for Magistrates, or D, a Strophil. Okay, so the crucial point here is bridging that massive gap between two legendary literary titans. And the answer is C, Thomas Sackville's Induction to a Mirror for Magistrates. According to the guide, this specific work just stands completely alone as the absolute finest single poem of that weird in-between period. Question 3 actually takes us directly to one of those titans. In Edmund Spenser's The Faerie Queene, which character serves as the central figure and essentially the main link between the stories? Is it A, the Red Cross Knight, B, Sir Guyon, C, Prince Arthur, or D, the Faerie Queene herself?
Right, so if you jump to D just because it's literally in the title, you totally fell for the trap. The correct answer is actually C, Prince Arthur. Spenser specifically chose Prince Arthur to be the central figure, serving as the connective tissue, the link, between one part of his gigantic design and another. He literally holds the entire massive epic together.
Man, we are just flying through round 1. Okay, here is question 4, our final question for this round. Who is credited with initiating the metaphysical school of poetry? A, Michael Drayton, B, Samuel Daniel, C, John Donne, or D, Edmund Spenser? This is a really big one. Have you made your choice? And this one brilliantly illustrates a major shift in poetic style. The answer is C, John Donne. Our source is super clear on this point. John Donne's historical importance lies squarely in the fact that he initiated the metaphysical school of poetry. He didn't just casually contribute to it, he literally kicked the door wide open for the whole movement. And that officially closes out round 1. Let's shift gears now, leave the poetry behind for a second, and head to the theater with round 2, Masters of the Stage. Question 5. Which playwright is noted for fixing the type of tragedy and chronicle play, as well as introducing blank verse to the public stage? Here are your options. A, John Lilly, B, Christopher Marlowe, C, Robert Greene, or D, Thomas Kyde. You've really got to respect the true trailblazers here. The answer is B, Christopher Marlowe. Marlowe actually did 2 massive things for the stage. First, he fixed the type of tragedy for his successors, essentially setting the ultimate template. And second, he was the one who introduced blank verse to romantic drama, and crucially, brought it to the public stage for everyone. And, speaking of Marlowe's successors, question 6. During which of Shakespeare's literary periods did he produce his supreme masterpieces like Hamlet, King Lear, and Macbeth? Was it A, first period, 1588 to 1593, B, second period, 1594 to 1600, C, third period, 1601 to 1608, or D, fourth period, 1608 to 1612?
The answer is C, the third period, from 1601 to 1608. According to the text, this third period was the undisputed era of Shakespeare's supreme masterpieces. It was heavily defined by his serious preoccupation with the much darker side of human experience. That's the exact window that birthed Hamlet, Lear, and Macbeth.
Question 7 introduces us to Shakespeare's extremely famous contemporary. In Ben Jonson's system of characterization, a person is governed by a master passion, called a what? Is it A, humor, B, conceit, C, vocation, or D, temperament? What's your answer?
Okay, this is highly specific to his writing style. The correct answer is A, humor. The absolutely crucial point about Jonson's system is that he seized upon this concept of a master passion, or a humor. He would literally build an entire character out of it. And just to make absolutely sure the audience didn't miss it, he would even label the characters with names that directly indicated the special qualities. It was a totally unique, kind of wildly brilliant approach to building a play.
Fantastic. 2 rounds down, just 1 to go. Welcome to our final round. Round 3, innovations in form and prose. Let's get right to it. Question 8. Which prose work, or works, was the first to use the closed kind of heroic couplet that ultimately became the standard for later English poetry? Your options are A, the Steel Glass, B, Cooper's Hill, C, the works of Edmund Waller, or D, Euphues. This one's really all about the evolution of poetic structure, and the answer is C, the works of Edmund Waller. Waller is specifically noted for bringing into use the closed heroic couplet. Now what that means is the sense of the poem firmly and beautifully concludes right within the 2 lines of verse, the distich, holding a totally complete thought rather than just spilling over into the next line. We are almost at the finish line. Question 9. Francis Bacon's most famous contribution to general literature is a collection of what? A, romances, B, sonnets, C, plays, or D, essays? The great man of science and philosophy leaves a slightly different kind of mark here. The answer is D, essays. The source explicitly points out that Bacon's principal contribution to general literature isn't poetry or plays at all, but his iconic collection of essays, which are also known as counsels civil and moral. Well, this is it, the final challenge. Question 10. Who was the author of the first regular verse satire in the English language? Is it A, Thomas Sackville, B, George Gascon, C, John Skelton, or D, William Warner? Go ahead, make your final guess. Bringing it all home, the answer is B, George Gascon. Specifically, our guide tells us that his work, The Steel Glass, which was written way back in 1576, holds the distinct historical interest of being the very first regular verse satire in English. And that is time. The 10-question exam challenge on the Shakespearean age is officially complete.
Go ahead and tally up those mental scoreboards. Honestly, whether you scored a perfect 10 or maybe just learned a few new facts today, you've just walked through some of the most critical, game-changing milestones of the English Renaissance. From Marlowe completely fixing tragedy, to Donne literally inventing a new school of poetry, and Shakespeare exploring the darkest, deepest corners of the human mind, I mean, these aren't just dry dates on a timeline, they're the foundation of everything. So my final question to you is this: how many of these foundational milestones did you master today? And next time you watch a modern drama or read a contemporary poem, look closely. Can you still see the fingerprints of these literary pioneers shaping the stories we consume today? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining us on this explainer. Keep learning, and as always, keep exploring.